Complete domination the first two quarters for the Dallas Cowboys, leading at 28-0. Here's a look at the Bows game changer. Romo to Dez Bryant, 14th touchdown catch of the season for Dez. Romo throws for 3 touches. Murray scores the other one. And now the Colts will receive the third quarter kick after deferring at the start. Josh Cribbs all the way to the back of the end zone. And Bailey sends it through the back. You saw this one coming just like this, didn't you?
Sure.
Yeah, sure you did.
I can always see all these games, how they're going to turn out.
And what about the second half while you're at it?
Well, yeah, how about that?
Okay.
Listen, there's no secret for the Colts here in the second half. They got dominated physically. And when you play a team like the Cowboys as good as they are, you got to be perfect. They made 3 errors that were just to themselves. The interception at the end of the first half, that was 3 points. The taunting penalty and the drop fake punt. Those could have changed this game around.
Luck 12 out of 18. 12 out of 18 in the first half for 99 yards with that pick. And that's Nix with his 5th catch. Let's go back to Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I asked Chuck Pagano how he digs himself out of this hole, and he just said, we couldn't get anything done offensively. He sighed. He said he doesn't have any answers. He said the most frustrating part, though, was the penalties, 6 of them. And then I asked him about the fake punt, and he said, we just didn't execute. He said, as for the defense, we need to challenge their wide receivers, Jim.
2nd and 6, and that's tipped at the line and intercepted. The Cowboys, Hitchens comes away with it. So Luck picked off twice in a 3-pass sequence going back to the end of the first half.
Well, it's the push inside. That's Nick Hagan. And sometimes it's not about hitting the quarterback and sacking him. It's about the pressure. And when you push the pocket back, it makes it hard to throw over the defensive lineman. Boy, Andrew Luck, he flies in there every time there's an interception, try to make the tackle. Hitchens has had to play all 3 linebacker spots for the Cowboys defense, and what a job he has done coming in and playing very well.
We were talking to Jason Garrett even back a few weeks ago in Chicago before a Thursday night game, talking about how Hitchens, a rookie out of Iowa, has emerged. And that's his first NFL interception. They've had, of course, all kinds of injuries at the linebacking position. 1st and 10, and it is Murray for a couple. He had a 40-yard first half with a touchdown.
Well, it was interesting what Jason Garrett said. They're going to keep him in there and let him play. And look, they went all week. What did Jason Garrett tell us yesterday, Jim? That, well, I read in the papers after that he's going to play. You know, we'll see. But he got out there, DeMarco Murray, worked in practice Wednesday, Thursday, did more on Friday. And quite an accomplishment to get to this game and play the way he has.
2nd and 8. He has a Colt waiting for him right away, Bjorn Werner. Well, he was actually telling his coach on the plane ride home from Philadelphia, I'm going to play next week. He says, you can bank on it. Don't even think about it.
Well, you know, there's something to that. You know what he did? He just set a mindset, and he was determined. And, of course, he didn't know how the surgery was going to go, but once they said it went fine, and says a lot about this team. Says a lot about him, but the determination, they've been determined all year long, this Dallas Cowboys team. Especially on the offensive side, it's carried this football team. The big reason why they're 10-4.
We got Street to the left. This is Williams in motion. 3rd and 14, Romo. And he's going to be sacked back at 34 by Arthur Jones.
Didn't take a chance. That's a good job. The sack was big. It's going to make it a long field goal, but nobody opened down the field as you look. And the one thing about Tony Romo, he knows when to go down. You watch the receivers down the field, the coverage is good. But we talked about that too. When you know you can't get away, get down, don't take the extra hits, stay healthy, and that's one of the reasons why he has been in this lineup most of the year.
It's 52 yards. Davis 5 out of 6 for the year from outside of 50, but not this time. And the Colts will be able to take over at the 42. Bailey wide right from 52. Unable to cash in off the interception. Best starting point of the day for the Colts, who are reporting that Dwayne Allen has a knee issue, questionable to return, and Richardson is met behind the line by Rolando McClain, as well as Spencer, and a loss of 2. Now, this has been the good stuff for Andrew this year. Tops in the league in passing yards, most touchdown passes. And at times it hasn't been so good. 16 picks, including 2 of those today.
Well, he's an aggressive thrower. I do like that. You take that and pressure, 2 reasons why so many interceptions.
2nd and 12, and Wayne makes the catch, and McClain slams him down. It'll be 3rd down. We got a Cowboy injured back at the 31. And that's Henry Melton, the former Bear. They signed as a free agent in the offseason.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Honda, where you can get great deals during Happy Honda Days.
It's the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge across the Trinity River in Dallas. Watch this tackle a moment ago by Rolando McClain, and Jason Garrett told us every time he makes a tackle, he makes a statement. We saw it there. Melton, by the way, was able to walk off under his own power. 3rd and 5 for the Colts, who have managed only 4 first downs in this game. Pressure on Locke, and he got it away. But it'll lose yardage, and a flag is out again as Richardson makes the grab. And again, it's McClain making another statement with a tackle.
Holding, number 62 offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Holding call on Holmes.
Well, Andrew Luck, man, could have been, got hit in the face mask, which anytime you hit the face mask of the helmet of the quarterback, supposed to be a penalty. But he has been hit many times here today. Hitting the ground, people always around his arm when he's throwing the football. A lot of dangerous situations for your franchise quarterback.
And you can see that Luck, when he saw the flag, thought it was going to be against the Cowboys. He thought they were going to call that. McAfee's punt bounces in. On the far side, we've got another penalty marker. So we'll check the marker. Here's Luck again. Cowboys have been in his face most of the game.
Field, kicking team number 57. 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the 20-yard line. 1st down, Dallas.
McNary flagged for that, so the Cowboys will have a little better starting point than the 20. Matchup of Devils, Sun Devils, Blue Devils. The Sun Bowl, one of the great long-time relationships between the CBS television network and anyone out there. We continue our annual visit to El Paso coming up Saturday, and we look forward to CBS Sports bringing in the bowl season with Arizona State and Duke. And all of our friends down in El Paso through so many years, Jimmy Rogers and many others. As we'll be back to broadcast that here on CBS. 1st and 10 with Murray. Still not down. Kind of foot away from the 1st down the way they're going to mark it. You know, we've seen the Colts a few times this year, including against Pittsburgh and against, look at this, against Peyton, Ben, and Tom. Manning, Roethlisberger, and Brady. They allowed 11 touchdowns and over 500 yards a game and 41 points a game. In all the rest of the game, the other 11 games, they gave up 10 touchdowns total. 11 in those 3 matchups.
Well, the defense has got some great numbers against some of the other competition. 3rd down defense, completion percentage, all that stuff. But you're right, against the good quarterbacks, they've struggled.
And Murray's got the 1st down. Of course, Roethlisberger beat him up for 6 touchdown passes. Murray up to 48 yards with that run.
They do not have that elite pass rusher You know, they have Robert Mathis out for the year. He could change this defense dramatically because he could give them some pressure when they need it in obvious passing situations. And then it's a double-edged sword. Now you're forced to be aggressive, and when you're aggressive against good receivers like here today, hard to cover them one-on-one down the field.
First down, Dallas. Play action fake, and Romo with a sealed pocket is able to again hook up with Dez Bryant for a first down. Right in front of Vontae Davis.
Pretty easy to see what he does. When they throw in these situations, he's going to look deep in case they play for the run. They don't. Good job by the Colts staying back. So Tony Romo, oh my gosh, look at the space he had to throw the football. I mean, there's not a defender within 5 yards of Tony Romo.
By the way, Tony's only, again, thrown one incompletion in this game. He's hit his last 12 passes.
Well, he talked about it. He says, I'm piercing the ball better than I ever have.
And Murray's running the ball better than he ever has in any of his first 3 other seasons. And it starts with this offensive line that the Cowboys have emphasized in the draft in recent years.
Well, look at it. Nobody around him. Oh, my gosh. This is really, as you see it the second time, you understand why he's only thrown one incompletion. But when he says piercing the ball, what he means is how it's coming out of his hand perfectly. It's, you know, it's like hitting the driver on the sweet spot every time. That's what he does when he's throwing. And his fundamentals, he said, they're great, and they hold up during the game.
Saw Jerry and Stephen Jones with Emmett joining them now, and back to Witten. Tossed down by Freeman about a yard away. We were just looking at all those offensive linemen. They went offensive line first round 3 of the last 4 years with Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, this year Zach Martin, and they stuck to their game plan this year. A lot of people thought, no knows, maybe they'll go Johnny Manziel with the 16th pick. All the speculation, they went right back to the line again.
That would have been a great move. This is what they needed. You know, you got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, I know he's coming off injury, but you got to build one part of your team that is super strong. And for the Cowboys, that's the offensive line.
3rd and 1, and they use that offensive line on short yardage and again convert.
You know, but just think, as we were talking to the Cowboys, talking to Tony Romo about this offense, and he said, look, he's got the experience now. We know he's got the talent, and the circumstances are right for him to put up the numbers that we see. Why? Because of the offensive line, and whatever you do, he has Jason Witten, Dez Bryant. They're a matchup nightmare when you play this Cowboys offense.
Romo, if he gets one more completion here, would have the longest completion streak of his career. He's at 13 right now as Murray slips between defenders, gets down to about the 33.
Well, they're just overpowering him now. And you know, the will sometimes leads you. As you look inside, Zach Martin, boy, nice job, just getting such contact. They're so solid in their contact, you can't get off the blocks. That was a big key for this defensive line of the Colts today. It has not come through.
And Murray comes back out. I still can't get over what he told us a few weeks ago in Chicago, how he consumes so much water, 24 bottles of water in the 24 hours leading up to game time. About 400 ounces is what he told us. 2nd and 3. Romo for his streak. He's got it. A new Romo record. 14 straight completions. That one to Witten.
Well, we've seen him have to move a couple times today in the pocket. That time just nice moving in the pocket. Watch how he keeps his hands on the football. One of the reasons why he's so accurate is because he keeps his hands on it. He throws with his upper body, which gets his legs involved, and it's right on target.
So Murray, back to the water story, gains about 10 pounds going into the game, drinking all that water. I've been trying it for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, how's it working out?
I'm up all night.
You're gaining a lot of weight.
Yeah,
I know that.
I'm getting no sleep. 1st and 10. This time he is taken down for a yard loss. LaRon Landry comes up to make that hit. as we approach 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Well, this has got to be really disheartening for this Colts team. The offensive line, we knew it was beat up coming in here. I think it just goes to show you. I think the plan was terrific on both sides of the ball. But it takes more than just a good plan. You got to have the guys to back it up. And today, the Cowboys just better than the Colts.
2nd and 11. And Romo to the end zone. Touchdown, Dallas. Jason Witten.
It's everything you want. Time to throw it. Look to the right. Nobody open. And then Jason Witten going down the middle of the field against the linebacker. Watch how he looks to the right side. Doesn't like it, even though Beasley is open. It's still nobody around Tony Romo. That's impossible for DeQuell Jackson to stay on Jason Witten that long.
Tony Romo with his 4th touchdown pass of the game. Witten was their leading receiver last Sunday night. And he is again here today, his 7th catch for 90 yards and his 5th touchdown of the year. On that touchdown throw, Tony Romo just broke Troy Aikman's Cowboy passing yardage record, most in franchise history. 32,961 yards. And what a play to break the record on. A touchdown pass to his buddy Witten.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today. And by Verizon XLTE on America's largest, most reliable 4G LTE network.
And the Cowboys are going to be seeing a new quarterback. Matt Hasselbeck is replacing Andrew Luck, who goes out with his lowest ever passer rating in a game of 41.7. Threw for 109 yards and picked twice. A rare off day for Andrew as Hasselbeck hands it to Herron for 1. And you've already qualified for the playoffs. You're not going to win this game. And he's already taken some punishment, so why risk your franchise player with the postseason looming?
Yeah, they would keep him in if they thought, I guess the easiest way to say it, if it was a safe atmosphere. They were worried about it coming in today. You saw Pep Hellman, the offensive coordinator, and the score 35-0. You think this Cowboy defensive line is worried about the run game?
They're ready to tee off. Hasselbeck gets it over to Wayne, who is driven back with authority by Carter. Again, you look at the AFC playoff picture. Patriots clinched a first-round bye with their victory over the Jets. Indianapolis came in the 3 position. Pittsburgh's in the playoffs with its victory today over Kansas City. San Diego will qualify next week if it wins at Kansas City. Here's the 3rd and 4, and the Colts pick up the first down. The forward progress will be out at the 31 for Moncrief. Tracy Wolfson down on the sideline. Did check with the Colts personnel just to double check, and this is just a coach's decision as suspected. And Luck just being pulled for safety's sake, and again the game out of reach with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Herron has Carter on him.
I think this Colts team, when you look at what's gone on here today, they thought that maybe they could run the football, because last week when the game was on the line, they needed to get rid of some time off the clock at the end against the Houston Texans. They marched the football down the field, ate up a lot of clock, had a lot of good runs, and they were really hoping that was going to carry over into this week, and it did not.
They've rushed it in this game for 2 yards total. 8 carries, 2 yards for the Colts, who have 121 yards total. That's all. Nix meets up with Sterling Moore, gain of 8. Hey, if you thought your fantasy season was over, it's not. You can play for free. You can win a trip to Super Bowl 50 next season in Santa Clara. Join today, NFL.com/playoff challenge. Hasselbeck in his 16th year out of Boston College, where it's a starter for so long in Seattle. Won an NFC title for the Seahawks, took them to the Super Bowl where they fell to the Steelers up in Detroit. And incomplete. Bobbled long enough by Wayne that the Cowboys defense actually had a play on a pick.
Yeah, it's amazing. Boy, it's contagious. The football, once players start dropping it, well, this football comes out.
It's been tough for Reggie in recent weeks with a number of drops. He's got that brace on his left elbow. They just changed that apparatus this week to try to make things easier. 4th and 3, going for it. Nix, and a flag on the Cowboys. Sterling Moore, hands were tangled up.
Pass interference. Number 26 defense. First down. Spotted the foul.
Good quick decision by Matt Hasselbeck. Goes down the sideline. Did look like there was some contact. 5 yards. Once you get past 5 yards, you can't put your hands on the receiver like that. Push, pull, whatever. It was a good call. Sterling Moore comes in at corner when 3 wide receivers are in the game because Orlando Scandrick goes inside and plays either another receiver, right now playing the tight end.
Scandrick blitzing. Hasselbeck gets hit by Scandrick. The ball is ruled incomplete. And Scandrick was already taken off down the field. You just mentioned him, and he came around the right tackle and got a hit on Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck wants to hurry him to the line because he thinks he might have fumbled.
Yeah, it's close.
He doesn't want anybody to have time to look at the review or the replay. But here it is. Now the officials meet and they change their ruling, their initial ruling, and call it a fumble. Recovery Dallas. They'll be looking at that. Here it is. The ruling on the field. It's a fumble. And we're going to Scandrick coming in and forcing that fumble, which was recovered by Selvey of the Cowboys.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It's Dallas's ball.
It's close, Phil. You know, some might look at it and say, I think the hand was just starting to go forward.
Yeah, you think that, but the ball is knocked loose, it looks like, from Scandrick from behind.
And here's the recovery. Again, initially, that's why they didn't really quite play it out. He was slammed down, but they ruled it initially as an incomplete pass. 3 officials met and changed it to a fumble. Mike Carey's back in New York. Did you see it that way too, Mike?
Well, what I saw is that if I was reviewing this, I would have to leave whatever they called on the field as the play that stands. 2-part review, the pass fumble, they ruled fumble. There was a clear recovery. That's the way it goes.
It was that close. All right. Look at Randall working through a very small crack and picking up about 3. Thank you, Mike Carey.
Thank you, Mike. Well, Orlando Scandrick, as soon as you start talking about it, he makes a play. And listen, he might have one of the hardest jobs on the team. He plays outside on 1st and 2nd downs or whatever, and on 3rd down, one of the few guys in the league that plays the 3rd receiver or the slot receiver, which is extremely hard to do for a corner.
He's a vocal leader, and he was telling us yesterday, we're still not there yet. We got to create more turnovers. Got to get better. Well, they've created 3 turnovers in this game as quarter number 3 is down to its final seconds. Cowboys up 35-0, and inside of the 40 with that throw to Bryant.
Hey, these are two pretty good corners they're catching these passes against. And Tony Romo, it's like he hands the football to the receivers. Catching it is quite easy the way he's throwing the football.
Romo 18 out of 19, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, and setting today, again, the Cowboy franchise